a person can have a connection to all types of Torah, right? But when a person has halacha, he knows how to live like a Jew. When we're talking about living like a Jew, going like a Jew, like we're saying, then not only he's going, but his family is going, his community is going, whatever stage he is in life, he's continuing that path, and that path can only be done through diligence in learning halacha.
Baruchim Abayim, and welcome to Torah Talks Chazaq's program with special guests. We have with us all the way from Eretz HaKodesh, Harav Avraham and Harav Netanel. Dadoun, Baruchim Abayim, welcome. What a zchut, what a merit.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
Baruch Hashem, it's great to have the Rabbanim here. We've had the zchut to be online in various different shiurim and classes, and now we're in person. So we're going to be speaking about achieving your goals. But before we get that, if we get a little background about the Rabbanim Chashuvim. Chavat. Rabbi Netanel, I guess.
Okay. About myself?
I guess so.
Okay, so I live in Eretz Israel, in Givat Zev. We have a small kehila, and I give shiurim. I'm studying in the Kollel for Dayanut. I give shiurim daf yomi. I give shiurim in Choshen Mishpat in monetary law. And I give also a shiur class on Parashat Shavua, on Zoom. And I'm also part of our HR organization. I give shiurim to rabbis around the world.
Yes, amazing.
In Halacha.
Dayan Harav Avraham Dadoun.
My brother Netanel is big enough. He runs really the IHR, all we do. And myself, we have a kollel for Dayanut in Yerushalayim. Baruch Hashem, a few years ago, I became a Dayan in London. So I fly to London a week a month. That's how it works. And Baruch Hashem, obviously in London, the Beit Din works differently than in America. We have the whole infrastructure of the whole community in one place. So everything got to do with if it's mamonot, if it's which is monetary law, if you have gitin, anything got to do with marriages and divorce laws, if it's got to do with your chasin, and really burial questions from the synagogues. Even gerut, we have a whole gerut process there, and Baruch Hashem, we try to create an infrastructure for each Jew there in the community. Giving that, I also run the Kol Dayanut in Yerushalayim, and we're here come to visit Rav Yaniv. Such a special day today, and Bezrat Hashem we'll try to do what we can.
Amazing, Baruch Hashem, the brothers, unbelievable. Yeah, continue spreading the light. I know the work on a personal level, and we're going to visit him and hear more about it momentarily. So we're going to be discussing achieving your goals. So how does one achieve one's goals?
Okay. So in every area you got to achieve your goal. You have to have a target where you want to get to, and give yourself a time schedule. How I'm going to get there, small steps at a time in the right direction, and of course you want to take advice from people that already done it before you. Right, like the Mesilat Yesharim says, you want to get out of a maze, out of a mess. Find someone who's already gone out of
Been there, done that.
Thank you, and tell me how do I get there. And every small step in the right direction that helps you to get to your target, and that applies to every area in life.
Definitely, when we're talking about achieving one's goals, especially in Judaism, we're talking about achieving one's goals in learning Torah and becoming a better Jew in all aspects. And as Mordechai Eliyahu, Zecher Tzaddik Kadosh Livracha, the former chief rabbi of Israel, used to say that each rabbi, each person has his own nitiyah, has his own connection towards the Torah, whether it's through Gemara, whether it's through Tanakh, whether it's through Halakha, whether it's through Midrash. Each person has his own position. So in every position that person does, whether it's Gemara, whether it's true or whatever it is, a person has to have goals. Like my brother says, one has to have target-oriented goals. So when one's making a business, right? He needs to have goals. He needs to know what's happening in the first quarter, what's happening in the first year, what's happening in the third year, what's my goal in 10 years' time. And that way he can actually, see how he's programming.
Sure.
But if he's coming and he's just saying, we're just still in
I'll try my best. I'll put in my best effort. And people try hard. They spend a lot of time and effort, but they want to make sure they're going in the right direction. So I would say first thing, you've got to write down your goals, what it is, right? And the second thing is to pray to Hashem. Yeah. That you pray to God, they'll let you to achieve where you want to get to in every area.
So how does one connect with regards to reaching goals, but in Torah and mitzvot, but especially with regards to being that we have IHI International Halacha Institute, the topic of halacha as well.
So halacha is a very, it's a specific part of Torah. It's not all of the whole of Torah, but the halacha gives you a different sort of aspect.
Tells you how to live.
It tells you, of course, it only tells you how to live. But I think when one's coming to halacha, there's a bit of perhaps a misconception. We're sometimes we're delving in the Gemara and in the Lomda sometimes, and sometimes in the Parashat Shavua and the Chizuk. But at the end of the day, the halacha has a basis to what it's going on. It's not just two halachot at the end of Shacharit, right? There's a basis of halacha. There's depth of halacha. There's understanding of halacha. And when it comes even to halacha l'maaseh, there's intrinsic parts, right? So when a person's going towards halacha, one needs to know where he's going. Halacha actually means, going.
To go and to walk, yeah, halacha is to walk and to go. So you want to be going in the right direction, and when you're doing it the right way, the way Hashem wants you to go, you're studying the halacha properly, and then you realize there's lots of cases that you need to discover that is not written down in your two halachot at the end of the tefillah, and you need to know where the basic of the halacha comes from. Right? Moshe kibel Torah miSinai. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu, he accepted the Torah for all of Am Yisrael on Har Sinai, and then you have the structure of how the Torah came down. The Torah Shebal Peh. First you have the Mishnayot, then the Gemara, then we have the Rishonim, the Halacha, until today. So you have to know the descending order, how it formed basically the Halacha to today, and you need to have a guidance, a teacher.
And I say I'm misunderstanding. A person can have a connection to all types of Torah, right? But when a person has halacha, he knows how to live like a Jew. When we're talking about living like a Jew, going like a Jew, like we're saying, then not only he's going, but his family is going, his community is going, whatever stage he is in life, he's continuing that path, and that path can only be done through diligence in learning halacha and having the halachical approach in everything that he's doing. 1 second, what's this about? Mordechai always used to say, I remember he used to walk on the street, he used to say, this is a problem. If what happens if someone fell here? How would they do about this? And everything became a person. Exactly.
Wow.
It became part of a person's life is the depth of halacha, and a person can really gain so much from knowing how to be a Jew. He can learn Gemara and he can learn Drush and he can learn these things. But at the end of the day, he's not acting as a Jew should be acting. And just as a parable, right? If a person has a bigger vessel, he can put much more inside of it than anything else. So when a person knows what he's going like a Jew and he's growing like that, then eventually he'll achieve that siyata dishmaya that he needs, in order to posek halacha. And often we find ourselves stuck, right? Everyone's even I get stuck, and in questions halacha. So we have shimush. You ask someone who knows maybe better, but. And you can and every case can sometimes be very different from another, especially when we talk about monetary law. Every case is different, and to understand the cases properly and to know what's going, it seems it's a davar she'en bosof, Right. And the way through is like we're saying, we're achieving one's goals through small steps, like we're saying, obviously through praying that we have
help from heaven.
And also there, Rav Yaniv, when you're looking as a Jew, you want to live your life getting connected to Hashem. Okay, so it's just one way. When you look at the life through halacha, you think, what's the right thing to do now? What's the right halacha? What does Hashem want for me to do? When you're living like that, then everything becomes a question in halacha, and you change the way you live, the way you work, the way you're moving forward. And another good thing about halacha is when you have a straight sense of achievement, because you have to plan. This is what I want to learn. Listen, I want to learn the halachot properly of tefillah, right? And then
so what should the approach be? Like it should be X amount a day. It should be going to a class. What do you suggest approach for one that's listening?
On this, Chazal tell us in the Gemara of Avodah Zarah, "En adam lomed ela ma shelibo chafetz."
Whatever his heart desires.
Whatever his heart desires. His heart desires Gemara, Dadoun, and he also desires how much time in the day a person can put towards, doing the halacha. And sometimes a person needs to start off, with something that he's connected to. So
the topic
speaks to him, speaks in tefillah, brachot, maybe chot Shabbat. whatever speaks to him, that's where he should start.
Right.
That's where he should open his heart. Should set a time and then let the time do its.
There's something just called netiyat alev. How do you say that in English? Netiyat alev.
The heart,
the heart.
You feel a passion in your heart. We're going in one direction. All right, everyone has different things that they enjoy and they love. Where does that come from? Hashem put that into you. You have a desire to do something. You give a talent for it, and Hashem wants you to follow that up. So even if you have one desire for a certain type of halakha, okay, that's what you should be learning. It's not just Chazal telling you do what you want. No, listen to your heart. Follow that.
Amazing.
Bring out the best in yourself.
And I think when someone follows one's heart, one gets to his potential. So he might have a goal which is like this high, but if he follows heart, suddenly he sees that really his goal is much higher. And with I'm thinking with the Nitiyat Alev, what you're saying, when you're going with the passion of your heart, you can really achieve, where your neshama wants to get to. We speak about 24 hours a day, and I say there's much more than 24 hours a day. Just if you're living with you're living with your heart. If we knew what Rav Yaniv does in Chazaq, 24 hours a day, there's not enough time in the day to do it. So how does he do it? Because he does it with all his heart. So maybe the heart is something which is intangible.
Definitely does it with the heart, and he has also a lot of good people working with him. And I think that is true. And I think also in halakha or in anything you want to achieve, you need to reach out to other people to help you. Share the goals with other people that want to achieve the same thing. Two
is always better than one.
2 is better than 1. But 2 is not just better than 1 because 2 plus 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. But each one complements the other and brings out the best in them. That means when I work with you, you bring out the best in me. I work with you, we get the best in you. And that's the beauty of Am Yisrael. Everyone helps each other and we will become the best nation that Hashem wanted us to be.
I think it's a synergization between two items which make 1 plus 1 is 3. That's what you're saying.
Right.
And really that creates a different sort of, that approach. So you're saying that if a person doesn't have the time, you should get a chavruta and say this.
Get a rabbi, a teacher, how do I do this? Who can help me? Yeah.
And
we're not created on this world on our own, right? Hashem wants us to be synergized with others.
100%.
So even though it says Kol Olam Lo Nivra Ela Bishvili, but nevertheless, each person can say Kol Olam Lo Nivra Bishvili.
The whole world is created for me.
For me, so all the people who are around me, who I can be partners with in order to share a vision, to continue to steig, to continue the learning, to thrive in the learning, to steig in the learning. You can go from that chavruta, from a class, from a mentor, from a rabbi.
Amazing. Rabbis, could you give a practical implication of putting this into action?
What, halakha?
Yeah.
I think the best practical implication of really achieving halakha to an extended level, maybe that's what we're referring to. Because everyone achieves, his goals, what he thinks he can achieve, but can he achieve something which is, slightly beyond what he's achieving?
Yeah. So you want to have a structure. That's what you need. You need the rabbi who's a leader, people that can work together with you, share your vision, your goals, and you working together in halakha, properly with the books together. And when you have that framework, like you have with normally in a kollel, where you're studying from the original text, you're doing revising what you're learning. You have people to talk to about the learning. Make sure you're getting the halakha, understanding right, reviewing it right. Maybe taking tests on it, or speaking to each other, and getting ready to the actual practical side of the halakha. That would really be the ideal way. I think the Dadoun would agree learn halakha properly.
And at the end of the day, there's a certain spectrum that a person needs to understand when it comes to halakha, because at the end of the day, you have the Gemara, which is the Talmud, right? Then you have the commentaries on the Gemara, which are and so you can stop there.
Endless, yeah.
Right? And then after this, you have the Torah and the Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo. Then you have after the Shulchan Aruch, and you have the commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch. Then you have the later commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch. So the spectrum is very wide.
You can get lost.
You can get lost. How do you decide where do I start? Where do I stop? Where do I continue? I think the great thing that the chief rabbinate of Israel have done, the Rabbanut HaRashit, what they did was create sort of a systematic procedure so a person can achieve those goals. So it sat with its great assembly, let's call it, right? And decided, which commentaries are more important than others. Of course, they're all important. Essential, which are the intrinsic one needs to, one has to learn, no matter what, and the extras. And then they set tests, 3 times a year that, 40 years ago when it started, there were a few. Now there's hundreds and hundreds of Baruch Hashem, Talmidei Chacham, they take these tests. They're set 3 times a year, and there's maybe 20 types of tests that one can take.
Different topics.
But this is for Rabbanim.
And this is for Rabbanim, right? And that's and how do they grow? Because they have a system, right? There is a system in place, and Baruch Hashem, the Kolelim, how do you say, shtaltu, they follow through with this system,
right.
And that's why Baruch Hashem we have many Rabbanim and Dayanim in Israel.
They made the study of Torah, but they made it academic. In a way, that means the Rabbanim is also qualified in the halakha that they study, and also gives them a big passion to strive to achieve their goal, because they have a goal, they have a target. It's very specific. They know what they need to know, and they end up knowing halakha properly, and they feel a great sense of achievement. Up to the point, I know also people that are not Rabbanim, but they wanted to do the test of the Rabbanot just for their own self. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Even though someone is older man, and he's ready, he said, I want to get my own smicha in halakha. And he did it, and you see, he utilizes his time. Everyone has the same amount of time during the day, but someone wants to maximize his time. Is people who have goals, they have a drive, and this pushes them forward. And that, I think, that's the beauty that they have in the
this is a great
halakha.
chashash that some people had. They may, put this in brackets regarding
Chashash is
speculation. When we're talking about academic, to turn Torah chas v'chalin academic doesn't sound correct.
Doesn't sound right. Yeah.
And it sounds like we're trying to make it more secular. And the answer to that is that no, we're making it kadosh, right? When we're making it that you can indulge in all the commentaries if you want, and you can indulge in all the all what's needed. But at the end of the day, there's something that will
be focused,
on track on what you're doing. It'll be target orientated, right? It's in a way. So what's happening now in Israel is that you have kolelim who are learning, and they're steiging kodesh kodashim. And at the end of the day, they have to take these exams in order to proceed in where they're going. Right. And I think that's a very important point, because a lot of people have that difficulty, and they say, well, you're going to tell me what you're going to learn now. You're going to tell me which Rishon is better. Who are you to tell me, it is. I really want to learn the Ritva, I want to learn the Rashba, I want to learn this, and at the end of the day, we say, it's fine. Learn whatever you want, learn the way you want to learn. But just to know, if you want to get up the ladder, know that this thing you're going to be tested on. And that's really something you need to
that keeps you focused on it all.
Yeah.
I think also that's the beauty. When Hashem made in this world, we have the Torah world, and we're taking the good points from the academic side, right? Remember, and we're bringing that all to Torah to use that as a way to serve Hashem. And I think this is really what Judaism represents, because we have a deep heritage and a past, but we're still moving forward with that. So we take everything. We're deep connected, right? Like Adam Oetz Sadeh. A man is like the tree of the field. Right. And what tree? A tree is rooted in the ground. You're well rooted in the past, in our Torah, what we've received from our teachers. And we take that, and we take everything Hashem's given us around that, and we move forward, and then we can grow into a beautiful tree and bring off beautiful fruits. And that's Tzaddik Tamar Yifach, which is a righteous person. He grows like the palm tree. Palm tree, he grows tall, and he puts all his efforts into his fruits, and he got beautiful, juicy fruits. He's like a cedar tree, very wide and broad and brings shade. So he gives off beautiful, good things, and he also creates shade, the good for benefit of the people. And he himself is big.
That's what a rabbi is. That's Chazaq, That's
exactly, that is the Chazaq. We've got a great example here, Rav Yaniv. He puts all his energy into all the kehillah, and you see what the programs that he runs, how much he puts into all the youth and the adults and the young adults.
Just the beginning.
And the end.
We should be zocheh to all do much
Queens
more.
and Yorkers moving forward, and him. You see what a great man. Yeah, everyone loves to be with him. It's great to be.
If the Rabbanim Chashuvim could share with us the vision of IHI, International Halacha Institute, that you've Baruch Hashem have the zchut, the merit to.
So the IHI, the International Halacha Institute, was established close to 4 or 5 years ago, I would say, and it developed, like halacha we said, it developed with time, and maybe I'll share with you, just 2 very, very short stories that can show you how a person, doesn't matter how old he is, doesn't matter how young he is, doesn't matter how much time he has, can achieve his goals in halacha, can achieve his goals as a completely different human being, and can then give over to the community. So Baruch Hashem, I was zocheh I merited, to teach someone, and he went to learn in medical school in Columbia University. He came to me
From Kollel in Yerushalayim.
He was in the college in Yerushalayim, yes, and after half a year, he got into Columbia University. Everyone knows how difficult it is to get in, and he said to me, Rabbi, I don't want to leave Israel, And he was like, listen, I said, we have Gedolei Israel, we have Gedolim. He went to Rabbi Osher Weiss. He told me, he said, listen, we need religious doctors out there, and we need professionals, and if you can go there, that's what you should be doing. And he didn't know if he'll get in, the year later. So he said to himself, listen, this is the opportunity. Let's take it on. He literally came to me with a passion. He said to me, Rabbi, but I want to continue learning halakha. I want to continue doing systematical, doing tests, knowing the derech, knowing how to go about, knowing what to learn first. And at the end of the day, I just said to him, you know what, we'll try, I'll try to send you, monthly tests. We'll try to see how you're going. If you have any questions, if you're not sure where to go, how to do it, then we'll show you the way. And Baruch Hashem, he went to Columbia University, and of course, yes, he finished. He just became he just finished his diploma, and I can say that after 4 years, Baruch Hashem, he said, I don't want to be a dafimid. I don't want to do something small. I want to learn halakha. He had 3 hours a day. He said to me, listen.
He really had the passion.
He had the passion.
Ability.
He said April and October. Those are the times it's really focused. Medical. He was a clever chap, and he said, listen, yeah. And Baruch Hashem. After 4 years, he had finished medical school, right? And Hilchot Shabbat, he knew backwards, and I can be me'id that his exams were like an Avrech Kollel in Yerushalayim, no less. And I knew from the back end, I spoke to people in Los Angeles, and they told me, listen, we know he's a student in medical school, but which student in medical school gives shiurim in Hilchot Shabbat on Friday and on Shabbat afternoon? This is, Talmid Chacham. How is this possible? A person has a target, he has a goal, he can achieve it in I don't know how many people, what they do in their medical school time, but if there is any free time, especially in such universities, but if someone puts his mind to it and says, this is what's important to me, this is the time that I have, I can achieve that.
That was great.
And the second one...
So we just saw that it was like a window of opportunity, because you see somebody who really wanted to do it, and he could do it, and he achieved it. And all we had to do is just give him the framework, and that's what we do in IHI. Someone doesn't have that privilege to be in the kollel, but we give him everything that you need as if you would be in the kollel, and you can be even in university and still achieve in halakha. So even if it would have taken, let's say, in kollel, it would have taken 2 years. But it took him 4 years, but he got there in the end. And that's what we feel we need to do. We need to be there to help every person, and that's the vision of IHI. Everyone can learn halakha, and you're not there on your own. There's people there who's done it before. There's people there who can help you with it, and that's what we're trying to do.
It's like a maze. It really is. You're trying to go through nowhere.
You're lost.
But Baruch Hashem, we have Baruch Hashem large professional staff in Yerushalayim, where we have all the Sfarim and all the gear, all what's where to work, and Baruch Hashem, it's very fruitful. Another beautiful example is, we have a website, ihitorah.org. So we get all sorts of people coming to us, So, really careful, how to take, what to take, if to take, the world is
very big.
But Baruch Hashem, we had someone, and he asked me, do you accept senior citizens?
Wow. What do you think that means?
That was his question. And I'm like, I don't see an issue.
Don't see why not?
If you learned in yeshiva, you know how to learn, right? Someone can vouch for you, then we can make it work. And he said to me, how long does it take to do semicha by you? I said, listen, depends how many hours you do a day, but roughly about 5 years. So he said to me, listen, I don't know if I'll be alive till then.
Well,
I'm going through a disease.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll be alive till then, but you know what? I'm going to set a goal to myself, and this is my goal for life. Obviously, with no question at all, we accepted him with
We took
open
him
arms.
on. We gave him special.
He's Baruch Hashem in his 70s, and he said this: it's never too late. I want to make sure I've done it, and this goal really gave him a lot of kochot. Obviously, we set him a VIP program, which is what we do as well. If a person needs whatever situation he is,
Tailor-made schedule.
and it's tailor-made for him. But we're reaching the level of the Chief Rabbi of Israel in Israel itself. So we're doing that in the diaspora with Gedolei Israel. Shlomo Moshe Amar, the former Chief Rabbi of Israel, former Chief Rabbi of Yerushalayim, is backing us, and he's continuing, and he says, keep going, do not stop. That's why we're here in New York to see more rabbis, some people who are interested in the program. But Bezat Hashem, it's. I think the beauty is to see such a wide spectrum of people to go out there and to learn. You know, as it says that Hillel Azaken, the righteous Hillel, he says he used to. He was. Everyone knows the story, right? That he was so poor that he couldn't get into the Bet Midrash because they used to have to pay for the Bet Midrash.
Right.
And it was snowing, and he couldn't come to the Bet Midrash. So he went up to the roof to hear Shmaya V'Avtalion from the window, and all the snow went on him. When he came in the morning, they saw a whole. They had to revive him and they said, Hu melamed al anim. He teaches, that even if you're poor, you need to learn Torah.
Right.
And then the Gemara tells us, even if you're rich, you have to learn Torah. And even if you're elderly, you need to learn Torah. And even if you're in medical school and you don't have time you need to learn Torah. And even if you're a rabbi of a community and you feel that's
busy,
it,
you're
busy, you have to learn Torah. And when I say Torah, I mean Torah, Mashri Bo Chafetz. And when I say Torah, I mean in the depth of halakha. Now, I'm not mean the halakha of two halachot, but the depth of the insights of the halakha. To go inside the Gemara to get to the end of the halakha.
That's what the Gemara says. En lakadosh baruch hu ba'olamo ela daled amot shel halakha. Like we said before, that means that what does Hashem want in His world? He wants that the area around you. Daled amot is the area of a person. When you walk around, you look around and you think, what's the halakha? What does Hashem want me to do? And that's the aspect. And I think that's the message, for everyone that can take them with him. You're never too busy and you're never too old to achieve your goals in halakha.
Amazing. So we have a custom, we have a minhag of the Rabbanim, a final message. We've had so many gems, so many chizuks. That's the message. No matter what the situation is in your life, no matter where you are, no matter what it's never too late.
You're never too busy and you're never too late. If someone can do medical school and do smicha and shelchot Shabbat, and someone's senior citizen who's got a disease and is fighting his illness and he can put his goals, he said it's never too late to achieve your goals. You can reach. There's people there to help and people want to see you succeed, and that's what we want to do. Everyone we take on, we just want you to be matzliach.
IHITorah.org.
That's it. We work around everything. Whatever difficulty you have, we have a team. We have a staff. And we're going to work around it, and we want to see you be matzliach.
Amazing. Chazaq Baruch Yishakach to the Rabbanim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Very special thank you to my friends at Olami. They introduced IHI to Chazaq.
Right.
And a very special shout out to your dear brother-in-law, Daniel Chaimov, my cousin. Daniel Ben Sarah Fashtem Amen. And very inspiring. I do this for myself, and then Derek Hagav at the side point, the whole world can listen as well.
I have to tell that Rav Yaniv Meirov is Baruch Hashem learning at the IHI, and he's doing Mechayel and Chayil. Bezat Hashem, we'll go through Rabbanot, and afterwards we'll take him to the Dadoun, the leading rabbi. And I just want to thank all those involved here in Chazaq and involved to make this podcast happen.
Go
from strength to strength.
Amen.
Thank you, Avraham, Dayan, Netanel, Shtiu Brim, Hashem Verech Otchem. I want to thank all of our podcasts and platforms that are hosting Chazaq Torah Talks Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chazaq.org/live, CHAZAQ.org. Special thank you to our friends at Torah Anytime for hosting Chazaq Torah Talks. Special thank you to our friends at Daily Giving. $1 a day goes a very far way. We encourage everyone to look into that. Special thank you to Natan Behar behind the camera, and entire Chazaq staff and team and board members and supporters for helping keep the organization alive and strong, and to collaborate with amazing individuals like Rabbis, Dadoun, Shlitas, and Bezat Hashem, we shall be so to see the Geulah Shlema, the complete redemption.
Amen.
Amen.
That was great.
That wasn't great. It was amazing.
Yo, awesome.
It's great. 2 thumbs up.